Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, updates on Rudy Kaludi. The Professional Responsibility Board in Washington, D.C. recommended on Friday that the ex-New York mayor and federal prosecutor lose his law license because of his involvement in the 2020 election fraud lawsuit. To quote, "We conclude that disbarment is the only sanction that will protect the public, the courts, and the integrity of the legal profession and deter other lawyers from launching similarly baseless claims in pursuit of such wide-ranging yet completely unjustified relief." The disciplinary board on Friday agreed with the committee's finding that Giuliani had likely broken rules. We agree that the hearing committee that the Pennsylvania litigation was based only on speculation, mistrust, and suspicion. The board concluded that Giuliani had put forward no facts to support the claims he made, and his opinion that the election was election impropriety occurred and does not meet the requirements for filing a lawsuit. Additionally, this is on top of last week, Jenna Ellis saw her Colorado law license suspended for 3 years because of her guilty plea in the 2020 election interference case in Georgia. John Eastman was found by a California bar court to have committed exceptionally serious ethical violations, and his license is suspended while proceedings over whether or not he should be disbarred move forward. So let's do a reading on these 3 attorneys. MAGA, making attorneys get attorneys. Let's start with Rudy. Okay, what's the energy around Rudy now that this committee has basically said, yeah, it's time for you to be disbarred? Entertainment purposes only. What's the energy around it? You effed around and you found out. Rudy made some really foolish choices here. And the bar... they can't look the other way on this one. I'm not saying that they would, but his crimes, his ethical lapses are so egregious that you can unite both sides of the pillars of wisdom on this one. There's no benefit of the doubt here. Yeah, and he did it to himself. He absolutely did it to himself. He lost sight of his values. Maybe he thought this was a great way to raise money and cause turmoil and such. But for somebody who had a law license and a career, he's the one that torpedoed it. Nobody did it. He did it to himself. He will be disbarred, basically. What this is saying is he will be disbarred. In the past, he was celebrated. He was beloved. He was America's mayor. He took down the mob. He took down John Gotti, I believe. Celebrated, had a celebrated career. And then he blew it. He went showing fealty to Donald Trump. I'm assuming for money. I'm assuming that he saw how big the grift was and he wanted a part of it. It wasn't out of undying loyalty and friendship, that's for sure. So he went forward with it. It got him a lot of TV time, a lot of publicity. I think he had his security business, and I think he felt that was going to help his security business. So what has happened with Rudy? It wasn't so much there for the grift. He was there for the free publicity and the promotion that it was going to give his businesses and such. The lesson to be learned, though, was just a complete lapse of judgment on his part. The other thing is, even though with the Knight of Cups, the thing with Trump is, when you go to Trump, he insists that you show fealty to him and you lower your moral and your values and your moral standards and your ethical standards to best serve him. And, you might start off like, oh, I can do 1 or 2 small things. But the next thing you know, he's eating around your soul and he's down to the core part of it. You drink from the Kool-Aid and you become a Trumper. Rudy became a Trumper drinking from the Kool-Aid. He got caught in Trump's web and he can't get out. And he knows he's caught. He thought he was more clever than Trump because Trump's an idiot. And Rudy's clever. But Trump isn't an idiot. somehow. He always ends up, passing the stuff on to somebody else. The outcome is the Seven of Swords. He loses everything. Everything is going to be taken away from Rudy because of his bad actions. I wouldn't be surprised if Rudy passes before he faces full judgment for everything he's done. But right now, I think Rudy got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and they're going to start taking away all his stuff. He's going to have very little left. Very little of his possessions left. Very little of his intellect or his integrity is left, because everything is going. They're going to take everything from him. He won't be able to practice law, so he won't be able to make money that way. He quit his podcast. He had to promise to quit defaming Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, and he owes them, tens of millions of dollars, not to mention other lawsuits that he's got coming on. And because he keeps spending money that he's not supposed to be spending, they're going to take away his ability to manage his own finances. That's likely coming for him too. The rest of his life is going to be a miserable experience. His best hope is that Trumpers will send him cases of Night Train Express so that he can just get sloppy drunk and stay sloppy drunk, so that he doesn't have to face the pain. Frankly, I don't think he has the capacity at this point. Did it to himself. The world was going to be his oyster. Because remember, the Empress card, she has, not the Empress, the High Priestess has a pearl of wisdom on her forehead there. The world was his oyster. He had the biggest pearl. He blew it. An idiot. Just a foolish old man. Okay. Jenna Ellis is next. She has her law license suspended. She probably will get it back. Why? Because she's actually shown some contrition. She's like the only one that bothered to show some contrition here. So what's the energy around Jenna Ellis? This has been a huge burden on her. She might actually have a shred of morals and ethics coming on. But she's going to have to bear this burden for a long time, maybe the rest of her life. And that burden is courtesy of her believing Trump and volunteering to do his heavy lifting. Underneath it all is the Seven of Coins. Just like Rudy, losing your values, assessing things. I think, though, kind of where she's going with it, she's got a hard road ahead of her, but it's because she's unburdening herself from Trump. She's actually, her life could be easier if she continued, supporting Trump. There might be, think tanks or PACs that would give her jobs and stuff like that and pay her bills. But if she wants to actually practice law and move on from this, she has to unchain herself in order to be able to make a living again. But this is going to dog her for years, decades, maybe the rest of her career, is her association with Trump. In the past, we got the Three of Swords, the betrayal, the heartbreak. This is her acting in bad faith and doing things with this election fraud, whether it was through trusting or outright manipulation. It seems like, I could be wrong, she might have been more duped than anything else, trusting people and got betrayed on it. I don't know the answer to that. Again, she's the only one that seems to have shown an iota of contrition. Current situation is the Three of Wands. This is her law license is suspended for 3 years. 3 years she has to wait for her ability to practice law again. That's where she currently is at. Overarching energy is the Six of Swords. She's going to, now that this has been decided, she's got to figure out a way to navigate these next 3 years and even navigate the rest of her life. How does she carry this burden? She lost her law license. She associate herself with Trump. How does she navigate this? How does she get through this whole process? Interesting. The lesson to be learned is the Two of Wands. I think she's rethinking her life, or getting ready to 3 years to wait. Had she played the tape forward type of thing, she might have discovered the problem here. But I think what she's going to, during this time of moving away from the turmoil, she's going to figure out something to do for her future here. Yeah, it's funny. You got the 3, the 2, and the 1. She'll come up with something new to for herself. I don't know what that is. I do wonder if she herself is going to be on something of a redemption arc, a la Michael Cohen. It would not surprise me to see Jenna Ellis be on the redemption arc side of things. I don't know how that looks. I don't know how that looks. She may not have figured that out yet, but that's kind of the vibe I get, is that she's going to try and atone for this. And I'm here for that. All right. John Eastman. I liked you better when you were with Mr. Kodak myself. But John Eastman, that is not a man who appears to be on a redemption tour. That's on a man that's circling the bowl tour. Is California court... yeah. Are they going to talk? I can't see a scenario where they let him keep his law license. But let's see. Let's see what the cards have to say. I may be biased. I may be wrong. Or I may be right. John Eastman, what's up with you? With your exceptionally serious ethical violations. Can't like it when a lawyer says, God, I swear I do shuffle these cards. I don't think Eastman has given up his hopes of Donald Trump bailing his butt out. I don't think he's on a redemption tour. Notice how Jenna Ellis had this as the challenge. How do I overcome this? He's like, how do I double down on this? Yeah, he's getting offers he doesn't like. And I think that's been true for Eastman. He's been fighting this whole thing, and he just thinks it should go away because he's a Trumper. And nothing is going away for him. Underneath it all is the star card. His star has fallen. It'd be great. He could be a star witness if he wanted to be. I don't think he has any intention on being a star witness, but, we could be optimistic. Major arcana here. Calm after the storm. The kitten is attacking Michelle. Yeah, he's still aligned with Trump. He's getting information that he doesn't like, and it's just like he there's a narcissism. He just thinks he's amazing. In the past, you got the 10 of coins. That was Eastman. I need to look him up for a second. Okay, I just need to make sure. It's hard to keep track of all the crooked lawyers here. Eastman is the one who was trying to convince Mike Pence to not certify the votes, and was talking with Mike Pence's counsel, or somebody reported into Pence, trying to get him to delay the certification. So, and he's one of the 6 unindicted co-conspirators on the January 6th case. He also gave a speech at the Ellipse. So, yeah, he's a star in Trump land, and he's gone on Fox News and others basically saying that he's innocent of these things. So, in the past, he was respected. He had a career. He had influence. He had money. He was set. He didn't need to do this. Current situation, though, he gave up his values, and now he is inextricably tied to Donald Trump. There's nothing he can do about this. His fate is now tied with Donald Trump. He did this to himself on this one, and he's not getting out of it. He could get out of it if he cut a bunch of plea deals, but there's no good plea deals left for him. So all he can do now is try and muddy the waters. But again, he did this to himself. His own ego seems to be in big play here, because he has a self-inflated sense of ego and importance in this world. And he tried to manifest that. But nobody out-manifests the devil card in this. Lesson to be learned is, first off, say goodbye to your law license. And second, say hello to a prison cell. This guy will go to prison. The law will deal with him. He is not somebody who's going to get off. Mostly because, he's not famous or well-liked enough to get off. You have to have people go to prison. And honestly, the MAGA folks don't care about John Eastman. They really don't. They didn't even like him when he was with Mr. Kodak. For those who are wondering, Eastman Kodak was the company that did the cameras in the film. That's the running joke. Most of my viewers, they know what that joke is. They probably haven't heard or thought of Eastman Kodak in decades. But explaining that, look it up, Google it. Look for the Broadway musical. The lesson to be learned is he made his choices, and he chose poorly. And he's gonna lose twice. He's gonna be a twice loser on this one. He's going to lose his law license, and he's going to go to prison. Yeah, this is the end for him. His ability to practice law, his freedom, his involvement in Trump world. He was a legend in his own mind. But the problem is that there's only one room. There's room for one legend in Trump's sphere, and that's for Donald Trump. This guy's just. He's Icarus. He flew too close to the sun and his wings melted. Cautionary tale. That's what this is. Just a cautionary tale. I don't think I need to throw any more on this. I think this covers this topic perfectly well. A little 17.5, 18-minute video for you. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so that my video makes it out for a wider audience, including black cats sleeping on the chair. For folks discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome to the channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.